Crawford.
Yeah, Duffy's in there. Watson, Jackson. Todd Waters down a little bit. Watch for him to come to life as the track gets a little bit more ripped up. Zielinski's been a name that we've seen a lot of. There's plenty of good, loose dirt riders out there ready to come to life as this Moto number 1 is taking off for today. 15-second board is up, 5 now. The first of our Kawasaki MX1 of Moto 1 is about to roar into life.
Drop of the gate, and it looks like a good jump from up the inside. Kyle Webster, the number 1 Honda CR450, wide is Tanti. So wide, but up it was that Dean Ferris. Looks like he has just snagged the whole shot from Kyle Webster, somehow beaten straight away into third.
Correct. Ferris is right there, and he's hungry, and this is the part of the track that they've done the work on now, into the rough, rutted areas. Webster is there second. The official whole shot going to the 111 machine of Dean Ferris. A good way to start the day in 4th place. How about that? Regan Duffy on the 72, then Tanti after running wide, like you said, Hogs, through turn number 1. So our riders positioned well as we start this, the first of the motos for the day, MX1, 25 minutes plus a lap.
A great start for the Duff there, number 72, all the way from WA on the very sweet Yamaha machine. There we see Todd Waters coming through. Nathan Crawford, likewise, nice scrub, and down the hill on board the Moto Coach Privateer Honda machine. Have a look at Ferris. What a start.
Great start from Ferris. He was very determined. Not that great in qualifying, but that's not unusual for Ferris. He loves the racing, and I can completely understand that. Qualifying was never my strong point. The racing side of it is where it counts. And right now, Ferris has put himself into the prime position, and he looks comfortable out the front at the moment. Beaton starting to ride into this. It's going to take a couple of laps to understand what has happened. All the bumps are gone down that straight. Very interesting what they've done in this track. All riders coming together.
The number 29 there, we'll try to pick up our names as they come through. Sorry, a couple of our back markers there have come to grief. But Kyle Webster still tiny bit of a gap there over a very hard charging Jed Beaton. Dean Ferris, I was just about to say, Danny, talk about a shot of adrenaline in the arm for this Kawasaki rider on board the Penrite Empire Kawasaki machine. Notoriously hates this track here. He does not enjoy coming to Gillman, and he has just had the start of his life here. He's about to come under pressure.
Oh, I'm talking about pressure. What about this from Beaton already? Straight to the inside, bounces off the side of Webster, puts himself into second. You can't ask for much more pressure than that.
What colour do you come up with when you combine blue and red? Because I dare say there's going to be some scuff marks on both of those two bikes.
The miss, have a look at the replay here. It was beautifully set up, very wide entry from Beaton. Gets the inside rut beautifully. Webster actually made the mistake going into it.
And also, I don't think it was intentional.
No.
Look closely. Beaton was trying to stick an inside line, but he was on the hammer. He was so hard, popped out of that inside line and just thought, there's nothing I can do from here.
The next couple of laps really could determine how the rest of this day goes for Kyle Webster. Mistake just there. Missed the entry to the right hand. Here is Duffy. This is a great ride from Duffy. It's great to see him up there in this position in front of Tanti. And looking comfortable at the moment. In behind them, Todd looks very good, was quick through qualifying.
While we've got Regan Duffy on screen, Danny, I just want to make a quick mention. After the Canberra round, I got a chance to have a chat to Regan and his dad, Darren, at the Canberra airport. And Regan is just like, what do I have to do? My midweeks, I feel so good. And I just turn up on the weekend and I can't ride properly. Well, this is how you ride. I dare say this is what his midweeks are looking like. Great start to this race, Regan.
The triple over under coming through there didn't quite work. Ferris read the situation, but look at the pressure now as Beaton slides out. So does Ferris for the lead in this one. Nice square back. Ferris looks over, knows exactly who he's dealing with.
The lines are coming together for Jed Beaton at the moment. He can basically go, is that smoke coming out of the 111 Penrite Empire Kawasaki machine? What has happened?
That's out of a very weird spot on the bike. Not sure, his bottom left, maybe that's just a breather.
So being 10 minutes in, and for Ferris to have settled into a bit of a rhythm, it really is going to take what's called a pulse, where they sit back a little bit and then they charge again. Now, could we be seeing that now from Jed Beaton?
We've seen it a couple of times at the tail end of this track where Beaton closes in, but then as we get onto the start straight and through those first couple of turns, that's when Ferris seems to open it back up. But man, the pressure that's going to be coming over the next lap or two for Ferris is going to be insane as they go towards the finish line again. 15 minutes still to go in this Moto Plus a lap. We're only 10 minutes into this. Oh, wheels stand up and over those bumps.
Big kick on the rear end there for Ferris. Looks as if that smoke has just settled down ever so slightly. And you have to wonder, like we said, it's either coolant or it's oil. And either way, once you run out of coolant or oil, these bikes don't like it very much. They stop, and sometimes they stop in a harsh way. So how long can Dean Ferris sustain this kind of pressure from Jed Beaton? And who is the one that's going to flick the switch first? Will it be Jed Beaton or will it be Kyle Webster?
Is the one that's going to fold first is another way of looking at it. Right now, Webster very quick through that particular part. We see down the bottom, the other Kawasaki rider there, the Empire Kawasaki, and Brett West has retired. Mechanical issue. We saw that just a moment ago. Here is Webster to the inside now. Got away from that outside line. Oh, is that, was that, it is. Beaton's gone down into that turn.
Okay, Beaton has gone down, no problem to the bike, and what looks like no problem to the body. A little bit of a, that didn't seem like too much of an issue, almost like a shaking up a little bit of sand. Does look like he's maybe bent that left side of the handlebars down a little bit. Now that can do your head in for a couple of laps, but once you get used to it, that won't prove too much of an issue. Has dropped back to 4th place. Let's have a look at the Honda replay here.
Look at the top of screen just coming into this corner. Where is he? Loses the front very, very early.
Yeah, that glass.
Oh, you see the background there. I think that was Daka, the hands on the head in the mechanics area. So Beaton has the work ahead of him now. He sits behind number 2 of Wilson Todd, who's been looking very good. A big look back by Beaton to see who's behind him. Teammate Aaron Tanti on the number 9 machine. I said it a moment ago, who folds first? Well, there is the first of them. And I don't think that's going to be the last that we see today.
Now, the big question is, look, cheer for the underdog. I'm impressed here with Dean Ferris. Who would have expected this? If we had laid down some money here, $10 on the table, you and me, Hammy, none of us would have picked Ferris to be leading this and comfortably doing so. It's a 1.2 second over Webster. Now, it's not so much the gap, it's more how he's doing it. We know Dean Ferris, multi-time champion in the 450 class. He knows how to win races, he knows how to win championships, and if you let him get a little bit of confidence on board, very dangerous. So let's watch that gap between first and second place.
The flag, is that? No, that's not sure. That could have been just a back marker.
Don't go anywhere. When we come back, plenty more action. Welcome back to the Penrite Pro MX Championship presented by AMX Superstores. What a day we are having so far.
These lap riders doing their best to stay out of this. The 23 machine you can see just signaling to go by on the left-hand side. Great move as they're all obeying that blue flag. But when it's so thick through this area, there's not much these riders can do. Brilliant effort for our lead riders to get past just as cleanly as they have. And Ferris still holding strong.
To me, one of the, and that's a costly point. He needs to be very careful there. If he uses that hook to bounce out of the corner, and Kyle Webster has a completely different line through there, that is a passing opportunity right there.
To the right, Ferris still controlling this at the moment, but Webster was quick through these last 2 turns on the last lap. Gets hard on the gas. Another lap rider in the road. They'll both have to go to the outside here. Try and make a move. Oh, Webster trying to sneak to the inside. He could have a line going into this final turn.
Ferris has has that slingshot in from the outside. Beautiful turn. Letting it all hang out at the moment. Webster, as they come onto the straight. Can he come up the inside? So close. Oh, aggressive move. Beautiful pass from Kyle Webster.
Do we see a pass back under from Ferris? No, out wide. Picks up the side of the berm. Webster moves to the lead.
I think it's important here for such a good race so far. You can already see that little bit of a gap. Have a look at the Honda replay. Up the inside with authority. Then number one just comes in and goes straight ahead for the berm.
There was even an extra turn of the throttle just as they entered into it. Yellow flag out.
Yeah, yellow flag. There was a bike and a rider straight across that roller section there. So
should have been a medic flag out for that one. With the way that bike is positioned, the boy is doing an exceptional job not to jump into that section. There might have been a flag out that we didn't see.
Well, I was a little bit worried when Webster first made the pass on Dean Ferris. I was a little bit worried that he'd either blown up a bit of arm pump or whatever it may be. Very, what shall we say, excited or worried. Brad McAlpine there, a bit of everything, I think.
Well, this is the opportunity right now. Ferris has been no slouch in this race. This is the opportunity to have a look at these lines that Webster is doing, which is what we're kind of seeing. He changed the line up there.
Picked up on Webster's line there.
I wouldn't say this is over just yet, Hoax.
No, not at all. Like I was saying before, I was worried that he was going to let Webster just run off into the distance, that he'd blown up a little bit arm pump, whatever it may be. But just like that, he got back onto the rear end of him. He's got some lines that are better than Webster's. Webster had some lines. Oh, and a mistake, a little bit of a costly mistake there for Ferris.
Very costly. He's disappeared. That's bike. It's gone.
Oh, no.
Can you believe that?
Heartbreak for Ferris.
He probably doesn't even realise that that's been coming from the start of the race. It didn't get any worse. Here's the replay as we go into this.
It didn't do a huge blowout of smoke, did it?
Just expired.
Just there. He's expired.
Oh, man.
The confidence that he needs to take from that, yes, that is devastating for the points tally side of things because he was well in the mix. But coming into Moto 2 here, watch out for the 111. I think we have another player. It's not just the big two at the head of the pack. So we have a look here, a 158.0 for Webster, a couple of 159s for Todd and Beaton, and a 158.3 for Aaron Tanti. He is flying, but we just crossed across the finish line, and the only one in the 157s was Jed Beaton.
He's turned it around now and you can see that right to the rear wheel of Wilson Todd. Second place is going to be the only position, or the best position he's going to be able to get to.
Right, let's go back down to Brett Metcalf, who is trackside. This track, it's developing more and more every lap that we see, Brett.
Yeah, you can definitely see that now. You know, from the start of this moto, they pretty much groomed the whole track. So it started off really smooth. I think Danny mentioned, you know, they took a lot of the bumps away, but already just after 25 minutes of racing, bumps are coming back, the lines are starting to develop, but keep a close eye on this. Jed Beaton, this is really for Jed, this is a must-make pass. That's going to be a 5-point swing if he cannot get past Wilson Todd. Wilson Todd here 2 weeks ago, incredible. His speed at the state round was unbelievable. He was actually faster than Kyle Webster. So Wilson will not surrender this second place. He's going to want it. Jed Beaton's got his hands full right here trying to get that, but he needs those extra 2 points, guys.
Well, you mentioned, Brett, he's got his hands full. What about the hands full with the rider behind him, the number 9 machine? He looks like he's on fire at the moment, and especially in this late part of the race, it looks like he might have upped the tempo just a bit.
100%. I've actually had a good chat with Gary Ben from Yamaha. He said Aaron Tanti's getting stronger and stronger and his confidence is coming back. I remember in 2022, me and Aaron had a knockdown battle here for 20 minutes and he ended up getting me. But this was the turning point of his whole year that year, and could this be the same for 2026? Aaron Tanti looking strong, putting pressure on his teammate. He's in a difficult position. He really probably wants to pass him, but he knows for the points, you know, Jed needs it. So going to be an interesting race to watch at the end.
Thanks for joining us once again, Brett Metcalf, as we take our focus back to Jed Beaton, who finds himself in a sandwich between the Wilson Todd Honda number 2 rider and his teammate, Aaron Tanti, who continues to impress in the 2026 Pro MX. What a ride he's having. Just as we say that, Webster has started to edge away a little bit. He's got an 8.5 second gap over his teammate Wilson Todd.
I'm starting to think that Beaton might be in a bit of trouble here because he was right there with the Honda rider Wilson Todd, and he's got this pressure from the inside. Aaron Tanti, oh, that could have been close if he attempted to launch that. I think this is the first time we've seen Beaton a little uncomfortable out on the track.
Well, last lap board is out at the moment. That was a bit of a failed attempt in that corner for Tanti, and it cost him a little bit of time. When you're up against someone like Jed Beaton, you just can't afford those kind of mistakes with less than half a lap to go. And likewise, it looks like Wilson Todd has got enough of a gap now to bring it on in. This is the race that Kyle Webster was waiting for. He needed to turn the tables on an undefeated Jed Beaton. 4 wins from 4 starts for the number 14 rider. It is not going to be the case here in Moto 1 of the Kawasaki MX1.
As he makes his way towards the finish line, Webster has done everything right. He kept the pressure on early, Lee, and he's moved himself into the lead. Perfect time in this championship to pick up this win.
Well, the season starts from here on out for Kyle Webster on board the Attard CRF Honda 450. Back-to-back champion. He carries that number 1 for a reason. Checkered flag for Kyle Webster. Bit of a gap back to a Honda 1-2 with Wilson Todd. An impressive second place.
Wow, how about Nathan Crawford out of nowhere?
Beaton holds on for 3rd place, just over Tanti, just over Crawford.
Could not ask for a better way to go into that final race today from what we just saw then.
What a way to kick off our afternoon. What a way for Kyle Webster to kick off Gillman. Let's have a look at the Kawasaki MX1 results. Moto number 1, Kyle Webster with an impressive win over his teammate Wilson Todd in 2nd place. Jed Beaton 3rd, Aaron Tanti 4th, Nathan Crawford with a charge to 5th place.
Duffy, Watson, Jackson, Rogers, Waters. And we haven't seen anything about that investigation, so these are all preliminary results at the moment. But Webster crossed the line first, and he is the man of the moment, no doubt.
And let me say, once again, impressive 6th place for Regan Duffy. Welcome to the party. Zielinski, Ward, Pelicano, Rosendich, Jacob Sweet rounding out the top 15. Kyle Webster.